Hello, hello.
Mm. Just before you hopped in, I was saying this concept of awakening the life force within and then learning how to function with it.
Hmm. Yeah, that sounds like the essence of Qigong, actually.
Oh, I
'Cause it's
know
like,
very little. I just know that it's more than I can regulate on the regular basis, and I don't have too many tools.
no worries. I'm gonna close my video real quick. Just gonna change shirt. Um, yeah, Qi, of course, Qi, like energy, prana, life force, different names for the same thing. Qigong is a word for basically energy cultivation. And with Qigong as a practice, you're basically um, cultivating the energy, opening up those different channels within yourself, and then learning how to mindfully direct it.
Mm.
So, and it's like a big purification practice, kind of like you're putting your whole soul through a washing machine.
Ooh,
Yeah, kind of like that analogy.
roll through a washing machine.
Yeah, that's just kind of how it is for like how I think about it, because that's how it feels.
I feel like what my path has been this past year is like my soul in a rock tumbler. That's how it's felt for me, being in a rock tumbler. So I like the idea of a little more washing machine-esque. That
It's
sounds
a little less intense,
yes.
maybe.
So I love that. And really dancing with what was the theme in the group today really is this it really inspired me this life life having a force and not knowing how to work with it and really being at the effect of it. And would love to
Mhm.
lean into how can I dance with that in a way that I'm not so at the effect.
That is a great prompt. That, I mean, yeah, that's like moving from reactive to proactive, right? It's moving or reactive to responsive. Like on one level, at one state of consciousness, which we all fall into, inevitably, it's like we're being tossed with the currents where we don't really have much control over our emotions, our reactions, the things that are happening. We just get thrown from one thing to the next. Feels like we never have time to be with ourselves, to pause, because there's always something that is demanding our attention. And yeah, just some of the practice, actually all the practices that I'll be able to share within this container are going to help you to take that pause for yourself and to really slow down and to check in and kind of imagine like you got four horses all running in different directions, galloping out of control, and you're just like trying to grasp onto any of the reins versus being able to gather all the reins together and all the horses suddenly come together in alignment, moving in the same direction.
That sounds amazing because yes, that's I'm like I don't know which direction we're going. I'm just at the mercy of whichever one looks like it's gonna run the farthest away, and then I'm back and all of that, and chasing my tail experience, and yes, all of that, and then also too, I live in the space of ignorant curiosity. The red band, is there any context or is that or curious on what that means or stands for? If there's anything there, just you like it.
I like it. It was an altar cloth at one point. I had a very similar one that was a gift when I did a Temescal sweat lodge, which was like a Native American sweat lodge, and I was one of the fire eagles for that. So I was tending the sacred fire for hours. It represents like rebirth and lots of other good things, but mostly it's just an altar cloth that I'm currently wearing on my forehead.
Help with energy. I guess I do everything intentionally for some extent that like helps me make sense with what feels good and
Mhm.
not being managing my energy by doing what feels good. Is that an essence of what like a practice that into?
We could imagine that the theme right now that a lot of us are feeling the need to do is ground, and red is earth or root chakra. So you could look at it through that lens for sure. Yeah.
Thinking about color theory and matching it all with the chakras, and I have a handful of different colored sweatshirts, and it's like depending on where I'm at, I'll be so
Mm,
gravitated towards those colors and
mhm.
agree that the power of color is really potent.
Color therapy is huge. It's like our first language for the subconscious mind. Before we speak a actual language, when we're little toddlers, we just perceive the world through a composition of bright colors and the feelings that our parents reflect to us. So it's a very early access point to tap into our subconscious mind. The red also actually is related to the fire element in Chinese medicine, which is related to the heart energy also.
Oh, okay.
Like
Cool.
when you're around someone with a super open heart, it's similar to being around an open fire. If that makes sense.
Oh yeah, I definitely walk around with very open heart. I feel like, and so
I can see it. Yeah.
uh, I can definitely. I feel like people get burnt by my open heart, and so I don't know what's inside of that. This is the fire, and I'm Aries also, so there's just a degree of that fire in me, that learning to harness it, and for me, quite honestly, this explosion experience that has made the fire in me very hard to regulate and very hard to have in a space that doesn't burn people that are near me.
Mm,
And learning
mm.
that, I mean, just recently, a week ago, I did a video that was talking about the elements and fire, and I'm like, just getting dropped into this world, I have no context. I'm like, I don't know that that's a thing. I didn't know. I mean, it makes so much sense when you look at colors and elements, like it's so basic and simple and makes so much sense, and then it's like it feels so out of reach to be able to bring it to tangible
Mm.
everyone that needs it. And I'm like, water, air, fire, like those things make sense. And how do we use that in common language so we actually have
Yeah,
tools?
I got you. So water and fire, you think of them as like opposing elements, like masculine and feminine energy. One would be like outward moving, destructive, expansive. Other is soft, passive, cooling, etc. So water and fire are symbolic of the yin and the yang. Now, if we look at the yin and the yang inside our own nervous system from a Western view, we're looking at the sympathetic and the parasympathetic nervous system. And if we want to regulate our own inner fire and water, one of the simplest ways to do it is with individual nostril breathing, which is called Nadi Shodhana. And I'm going to guide us through that in a moment. But what we're basically doing is we're breathing in through one nostril, exhaling through the other, inhaling through that one, exhaling through the other nostril. And this actually is shown to balance and regulate the left and the right brain hemispheres, the sympathetic and the parasympathetic nervous system, because each nostril controls one. So fight or flight response on one side of the body, relaxation and rest response on the other side of the body. And then from an Indian, like a Hindu perspective, they talk about the sun and the moon channels on each side of the body, or the Ida and the Pingala, which are these masculine and feminine nerve channels that run up and down different sides of the spine. Saying the same thing in two different languages, right?
I love bringing so many contexts because we're all pointed in this direction. That's really culminating in the divine union of energy. And what you just added for me, and really a language I speak and something that I chase after, is that left brain, right brain coherence. The goosebumps in my body, like when I have a biofeedback that tells me when I'm there, and it's like I know that I've hit the sweet spot when I can have that left right brain coherence, and how that really does, life works when you're in that balance, and how much you get to just see the world in a different way. And so tie this breath work into left right brain coherence just opens up a path to me that's like, oh yeah, I'll breathe, because I'm not one to choose breath exercises very easily.
Yeah, I love that. I love that it's something that correlates to your map of what's important in the world, if that makes
Yeah.
sense, or something you can see tangibly is going to benefit you.
Yes, I actually was talking to Tofik, and he was talking about the breath work that you gave him too, and he was so excited trying to show it to me. Also, and I'm like, okay, I've got this coming from me enough different angles now. I'm ready to learn and really
Yeah.
practice it and become practicing it.
Yeah, we're gonna do like left right brain coherence and then heart coherence. And heart coherence because when the heart is in a coherent state via accessing elevated emotions, it reflects in our brain functioning coherently. In other words, the hemispheres speak to each other in a very smooth and clear way. And on the note of hemisync, or creating a left right brain coherence, juggling is actually the #1 best exercise for that, because when you cross the left hand over the midline of the body, or the right hand crosses the midline, you engage both brain hemispheres. So think juggling, you're doing it rapidly, and it's just creating like neuron fire, like at the ass.
So
Just like
juggling my 4 horses does not work.
well, you could do it with 2 balls, right? Just toss, toss, catch,
I was saying,
catch.
I feel like I'm juggling life, so I feel like I need to put it into my hands, is what I hear.
Valid, valid. Okay. So we're gonna start by taking the index and the middle finger of the left hand, placing it on the third eye, or the middle of your forehead, and then taking the left ring finger, plugging the right nostril, and breathing in for 7 seconds. So breathing in, Hold in both for 2, exhaling out the right nostril. For 8 seconds, and then inhale in for 7. Holding for 2, exhaling for 8. Inhaling for 7 through the left nostril. Hold for 2, exhale out the right. If you want, you can envision as you breathe in that a white light is shooting down the left side of the spine as you inhale through the left nostril. You're pulling this white light down, and then as you exhale, it crosses over and goes up the right side of the body as you exhale out. So it makes like a U shape. And then inhale to the right. Pulling the light down, crossing over, exhaling out the left. You're breathing in, and as you breathe in, you're just envisioning and feeling this energy flowing down as you breathe in, and as you exhale, it crosses over and goes up as you exhale out. So it's like you're exhaling out impurities out of the body, and then you're pulling purification light or consciousness energy in. So from here, we're gonna switch to breathing in for 4, exhaling for 5 or 6 seconds. So breathing in, letting go. Fully in, letting go. Filling the belly and the chest, breathing in, letting go. Relaxing the body, breathing in, letting go. Breathing in peace. Exhaling out any stress or tension. Allowing yourself to relax deeper and deeper with every breath, every exhale, like a sigh of relief. Safe to let go. Safe to let go. Breathing in and letting go. Now I want to invite you to tune in to one of the most beautiful memories of your life, to take a second to really find one that stands out in your memory. It could be something very simple or a really profound memory that stands out. It could literally be your favorite place in nature. So don't overthink it too much, but something that brings about a genuine sense of calm or joy or gratitude in your body. And notice within this memory, within this environment, whatever it is, notice how you hold your body, notice how you breathe in that experience. I invite you to allow yourself to go into the same exact breathing as if you were there having that experience. Breathing into the heart, smiling into the heart. Exhaling out, releasing any anxiety or stress or impatience. In, letting go. You can say the word, if it feels good, say the word release, release, release over and over in your mind, or you can say it out loud. It's entirely up to you. But as you say release, 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 just feeling tension, feeling stress, feeling overwhelmed, feeling anything that's not of this moment falling away, releasing from your body, releasing from your mind, being magnetized up into space. Release, 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 release. Almost like you're letting a bunch of cords go, a bunch of cords connecting you to the past, worrying about the future, anything that's not of this moment, allowing yourself to sever the connection to those different things, and allowing yourself to fully drop into this moment, to fully drop into this breath with all of your awareness. As you connect back to that sensation of joy or gratitude, noticing first impression if you see a color or a series of colors connected to this feeling in your body. As you draw your awareness to that color, you're going to breathe it through your body with every breath. So imagining like you can physically pull the color into your body with every inhalation, and every exhalation is just a relaxation. Tuning in, being present with the heart, noticing if there's any sorrow, any grief, any overwhelm, checking in with your inner child, letting him or her know that they're safe, that they're protected, that they're loved, that they're safe to have whatever experience they're having right now, that we don't have any hierarchy in regards to what's an okay experience or feeling to have in the body. Letting all parts of you know that they're valid and they're safe in this moment to be exactly as they are. If the mind wanders, bringing it back to the breath. And now we're going to go ahead and set an intention for ourselves moving forward, whatever the next engagement is that we have, the next thing we have to go into, the next environment. the people that we have to interact with or get to interact with. Just inviting ourselves to go into this next engagement with our fullest level of presence, of integrity, of kindness, compassion, and also holding our energetic boundaries in whatever way is healthiest for ourselves. So feeling what it feels like to feel empowered and strong and safe and secure in our bodies, and also to have that higher level of awareness presiding over the actions and steps that we take. So asking ourselves, how can I bring my best self into the next engagement? How can I be fully present, fully engaged? Whenever you're ready, checking back in with yourself, coming back, noticing the difference in how you may feel.
That shifted me.
What's that?
That shifted me. I'm here. I'm like, I want to clean my desk. I want
Nice.
present.
Beautiful.
My
Yeah.
intention environment is no longer coherent with where I'm at and that, and just seeing newly. And also too, I'll share this, it's a tool that helps me. I don't know if you've tapped into affirmations. So I think you said like uh the bringing your best self into the situation.
Mhm.
Yeah, I say it for my brain too, is like, what if I brought my best self into this situation? What would that look like?
I love that. Yeah. What would someone who loves themselves do?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
taking the pressure off yourself to be that person and just imagining and playing pretend. Yeah. So
What if
important.
self came into the situation and then really allowing that to show
Yeah.
up? That's just adding that in as other tools for ways to communicate for your brain. And yeah, this is the lot of like this clearing, this really leaning into this clearing, and really what I saw biofeedback so fast with that breath work was so like
Mhm.
I have such a loud nervous system, so it's really easy to see what works and what doesn't work.
I can see the shift. You're very present, very, very here. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, there
That's
was
awesome.
energy to tap into, and I was like, oh, I'm like really tapped in.
Yeah, those practices are such a game changer. I actually stopped and did a few rounds of breath work today at work just to ground myself like that. It's incredibly beneficial. I do have to get going now, but I hope this serves all of you, and I'd love to hear your feedback and everything. Blessings. Also, Ara, nice to kind of interact with you. I feel your heart, and you're very loved.
We'll keep. Oh yeah, yeah. Thank you for being here too, and we'll keep playing around. And Gabriel.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Talk
okay.
soon.